Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to another Magic Arena Explorer video. So today we are playing a little bit of Gruul Monsters. So this is a Gruul aggro deck that runs a lot of big creatures that we use to beat down the opponent. So it's a little different from your usual kind of Gruul vehicles. It's a bit closer to Gruul Haste. There's a lot of haste creatures in this deck, but it's a little more just kind of like Gruul Stompy, Gruul Monsters, whatever you want to call it. But our monsters in question are up the top end of our curve. So we've got 4 copies of Glorybringer, which is a great card. I wish saw a little bit more play, but we are going to bring it back. So this is a 4/4 flying haste dragon for 5 mana, and you may exert it as it attacks. And when you do, it deals 4 damage to target non-dragon creature an opponent controls. So exerting essentially means that when it doesn't untap during its next untap step, but it allows you to take out an opponent's creature on the turn it comes into play. So it's a very powerful card, this one. We're also running 4 copies of Questing Beast, so 4/4 Vigilance, Death Touch, Haste, and various other abilities. Very, very good card. 4 copies of Rekindling Phoenix, which used to be an absolute powerhouse in Standard. A 4/3 4/4 with flying, and when it dies, you create a 0/1 red elemental creature token with, at the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice this creature and return target card named Rekindling Phoenix from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains haste until end of turn, so it's a very hard creature to remove. They generally need to have 2 removal spells to get rid of it. And then we've got Gruul Spellbreaker, 3/3 with Riot and Trample. As long as it's your turn, both you and it have hexproof. So essentially, Riot means it either comes down as a 4/4 or a 3/3 with haste. And then Reckless Stormseeker is a werewolf that we've seen in various decks, including vehicles. So that's a haste enabler as well. And then Voltaic Brawler is a 3/2 for 2 that generates energy, and you can also turn it into a 4/3 trample. So just a very efficient creature that can attack for a lot of damage early on. And then down the bottom end of the curve, we've got 4 copies of Llanowar Elves to help us ramp into our big creatures. And we're only running 4 of the 8 mana elves just because there's a lot of red mana that we need for this deck, more red than green. So that's why there's just 4 of them rather than 8. And then 4 copies of Pelt Collector, so a 1/1, but that gets bigger whenever a creature with greater power enters the battlefield under your control or dies. And then the rest of the deck is just cards that support around that. So we've got Shatter Skull Smashing, which is a land and also a removal spell. We've got 2 copies of Chandra Torch of Defiance, excellent versatile planeswalker with 4 abilities. So it can act as pseudo card advantage, burn for the opponent, mana ramp, and also a removal spell. And then 2 copies of Embercleave, which helps us close out the game. Legendary equipment that can come in and attach itself to one of your attackers and give it +1/+1 double strike and trample. So that's all to the good. Then the mana base, lots of dual lands. We've also got Lair of the Hydra and Ramanap Ruins and Beseiju. And also 2 Haship Oasis as well, which help create our bigger creatures. They help pump our creatures and help us win the game. And then we've got 3 mountains and a forest as well as our basic land. As I say, it does skew a little bit towards red, so we are running a fair number of basic mountains. But we do have enough green mana sources that we will reliably able to bring out one of these on turn 1. And then in the sideboard, we've got 2 copies of Magma Spray and Sweltering Suns as targeted or mass removal. This one exiles a creature, so that's important to have there. A Soul Guide Lantern. That's our graveyard hate of choice. Cindervines to deal with opponents that are playing lots of non-creature spells. Rampaging Ferostodon to stop the opponent gaining life and also damage them for creatures coming into play. Nullhide Ferox, a very big early creature that stops you casting non-creature spells, but is pretty hard to get rid of and can also be brought in against any deck that's trying to make you discard. Carnage Tyrant is anti-control, 7/6 that can't be countered with trample and hexproof, and then the Great Henge, which allows us to generate lots of card advantage, gain life, add mana, add +1/+1 counters, kind of does everything, and it's obviously cheaper based on the size of the creatures that we have in play, so we'll often come down for 4 or 5 mana and immediately start generating that value. So that is the deck, a classic kind of Gruul beat the opponent down deck. So something that I think will be a nice palette cleanser after a lot of new decks and complicated different combinations of cards. Haven't yet braved Lotus Field, but we will give that a go at some point. So just enjoy this somewhat simpler style of deck for a change. And yeah, hit those like and subscribe buttons as ever. Greatly appreciate the support. And let's go onto the ladder and see how we go on. One land and no elf is not going to be enough. That is better. So let's I'll keep this, but what are we putting back? I think we are probably putting back Pelt Collector. Though, what's our opponent playing? Yorion. Yeah, they probably don't have a 1-mana removal spell, so let's pop back Pelt Collector and use our Llanowar Elf instead. Okay, turns out they do. They're playing Lay Down Arms, so that's useful to know. We drew another Pelt Collector anyway. So let's drop that into play tapped. Play old Pelty. Okay, so they're on a like blink deck, so that's useful to know. Let's drop a Reckless Stormseeker. Give it haste. Attack for 3. Okay, they are laying down lots of arms. So let's drop Questing Beast into play. Interesting. Mass removal? No, just Spirited Companion, okay. No, it's not. Those can't block Questing Beast, so yeah, could really have done with not drawing a land there, but see what they have to offer next. Sure. Okay, that's not terrible. It costs them all their mana, so it's not hugely efficient. Yikes. Oh well, let's turn this into a creature. Okay. Jesus Christ. Okay, well, we can hit them for 5. So just playing Yorion here doesn't save them. Okay, that doesn't do anything for us either, because we have no targets for it. But let's yeah, go on, let's bite. Let's turn this into a 5/5. force them to use Castle Ardenvale. Because that's all they're doing. Okay, the Eternal Wanderer comes down. I think we should be able to win from here then. So if we turn this into a... No. Let's Shatter Skull Smashing for 3. No, just for 2, actually. Shatter Skull Smashing for 2. Turn this into a 2/2. Yep. Okay, despite drawing nothing but land, we did get there in the end. So what are we bringing in against Mono White Blink? Sweltering Suns, maybe? Nullhide Ferox, no. Carnage Tyrant. Great Henge. How's the Great Henge do for us here? Oh, I'm quite happy to just run this back for... Let's pop in Magma Spray, actually, and what are we going to take out? Let's take out a couple of Pelt Collectors. They don't stack up very well against Laydown Arms. Yeah. Now this, my friends, is a good opening hand. So let's play an elf. Stomping Ground. Okay, they've got a farm hand of their own. So let's pop Spellbreaker into play. Let's give it haste. Okay, so they're going down the full field of Ruin Route, which is fine. We'll just hit them with a questing beast until they go away. We do run a decent number of basic lands in this deck, so it's going to be harder for them to do the stop us doing anything plan. That's pretty tasty. Okay, let's grab a mountain. Okay, another ossification, so they're not giving up. Ooh, interesting. I think I prefer Stormseeker here, just because if it survives, I can give my Phoenix haste immediately. Eventually, they're gonna have to. Eventually, they're gonna run out of things to do. Not if I keep drawing constant lands, though. Wow, they are going heavy on the everything removal. No, I'm happy to scoop this one up, but I think it's given us some more sideboarding options. Drawing another land there was slightly ridiculous, but so let's pop back in Pelt Collector. Let's pop in Sweltering Suns and Carnage Tyrant, just because they've got so much exile-based removal. Let's make it slightly more difficult for them, I think. So let's take out Chandra here and Embercleave as well if we've got the Ferox. Yeah. Oh, this hand is so slow. No, I'm not sure I can keep that. Okay, that's better. That's much better. So let's pop back. What are we putting away here? Probably Sweltering Suns, actually, because it doesn't line up very well with what else we've got going on. So let's pop that away. Let's play a Pelt Collector. Okay, so they are just literally just running mono removal. I mean, I did put things that aren't land in this deck. I'm sure I did. Could really do with drawing a creature here. Or not. What is going on? I mean, the mana flood in these games has just been ridiculous. Okay. Birthing. Oh, come on. Alright, let's kill their wall. I wouldn't normally bother, but I think I need... it's going to get in the way of our ground creatures if I don't. I mean... not really sure what I'm supposed to do about this situation. Sure thing. Well, I could kill their Yorion. Far be it from me to point out that that is also a land. Right. Well, that was fun. Okay, let's try again. Oh, that'll learn me. So the opponent's on a Gigantha deck. Drop Elf. Let's put Pelt Collector into play. So the opponent's on some sort of prowess deck. So it could be the PNLR deck. Ooh, Runaway Steam Kid. That's fun. So Shatter Skull Smashing is going to be a useful addition to this performance. Or maybe not so much. So we can do 3 damage. Oh, that's really annoying. Okay, I can see where this is going. Okay, so it is PNLR. They're just running Runaway Steam Kid with the deck, which I like as a concept. Yeah, I think they've pretty efficiently got their wagon rolling here, so let's scoop this one up. Go to game 2, where I think we are bringing in Sweltering Suns, Magma Spray, Cinder Vines, and let's take out Shatter Skull Smashing. Is this Sweltering Suns even any good here? Runaway Seeking just becomes a 4/4, but trim a couple of questing beasts and an Embercleave. I will keep this one, but I'm not convinced. Okay, that's pretty decent. So let's play a Voltaic Ruler. Okay, I have a PNLR down. Let's play Reckless Stormseeker. Give it haste, attack, take action. Okay, great. Two lands, two lands. Oh, that was aggressive. Oh, look, land. Let's play Rekindling Phoenix. Make another attack. So I'm slightly bemused by the mana mix that I've been given in this deck, but kill their PNLR. See if we can bait them into overcommitting to the ball to their attacks. Showdown of the Skulls is interesting. Not enough mana to do both, so let's attack. Let's play Embercleave. So Showdown doesn't really do anything for them here. Okay, that makes sense on some level. Okay. Ferostodon. Actually, I quite like Ferostodon here against their token generation. Let's take out the other Embercleave. And one copy of... let's trim a couple of Rekindling Phoenixes. Pop in another Questing Beast. Yeah. Slow, but potentially powerful. Decent. Okay. If this survives, I think we are in pretty damn good shape. Nope. Well, that's very disappointing all round. Okay, well, let's have a 4-4, I think. Play Questing Beast. Could really do with being able to play Glorybringer here. Sweltering Suns would also be great. You know, just if making suggestions. Oh no. Yep, not a lot you can do in that situation. Yep, we are super dead. Yeah, this is not going very well at all. I mean, our drawing has been pretty terrible, but let's see if we can win one. Okay, this isn't too bad news. Ah, humans. I'm going to draw absolutely no land this game, I can tell. I've got to. You can feel it coming. Okay, that's not terrible as we've got duplicates of almost everything in our hand. Okay, well, that's something. Okay, as long as they don't manage to destroy it, that's the main thing. I'm going to keep a lot of pressure up on them here. Think you can out aggro me? Yeah, that's not going to save them. Yep. Okay. So, humans, magma spray, sweltering suns, running it all back again. Do we need Frostodon here? Probably not. So we're on the draw. Let's take out. How good's Glorybringer here? I feel like each of their creatures on its own is not worth that much. Let's try taking out Glorybringer. Decent enough. Being on the draw against humans is going to be quite rough, I would imagine. Okay, that's a decent 4. Okay, let's drop Brawler into play. Almost willing to sacrifice this to one of their creatures, I think. Just because we've got such interesting stuff going on at the top end here. Yeah, that's fine. I'll take 4 here. Spellbreaker. Let's be a little punchy with them, I think. Well, if you want to save that, you're going to have to not do me any damage. Nope. Let's put Rekindling Phoenix into play. Pass the turn. This is a good one to have down, just because it can block, but then potentially come back. Not sure they have any decent attacks here. Nope. Okay, that's good. So let's play Pelt Collector. Play Questing Beast. Pass the turn. I'm risking them being able to play Brutal Cathar, but that's fine. We do have Embercleave ready to go. Ooh, that seems risky. Okay, they've just got Brave the Elements, fair enough. They will have to pick a colour. Yeah, I'm not sure that's what I'd do, actually. I think this will actually kill them. With Embercleave, I think this is probably lethal. Yeah, that's not going to do it for you, I'm afraid. There you are. Okay, Mono White Humans. We got in a win there. Slightly less, slightly better mix of land and spells in those games, and our opponent got a little unlucky with their land in that second game. But there we are. So that is Gruul Monsters. How monstrous they turned out to be. Ooh, Lord of the Rings pack. And a wild card. Boromir, Warden of the Tower. This feels like a good card. So there's the deck one more time. A little bit of Gruul Monsters. Yeah, no, it did okay. A little bit of an underperform. I was disappointed that we lost that first match, just because I feel like that was more down to luck than anything. Just couldn't draw anything. But we did well against mono white humans, so yeah, not bad. And it's always fun just to play big creatures and turn them sideways from time to time, even if it's not necessarily the best thing to do in the format. So thanks very much for watching. As always, like, subscribe, comment, let me know what you think of the deck, and I will see you next time.